YouTube. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to AP Reacts. Man, man. Today we'll be reacting to day one of NBA free agency. It's off season, so Oklahoma City Thunder won the championship. Shout out to them. So now it's off season time and teams trying to get better and looking around the league and saying, how can we get better? How can we get more impactful? How can we play longer into the playoffs? And that's where we at. And so today we will be reacting to day one for free agency, winners, losers, best players available left, and yeah. So let's get into it.
The Denver Nuggets trading Michael Porter Jr. to the Brooklyn Nets for Cam Johnson. Brooklyn also receiving an unprotected 2032 first-round pick in the deal. MPJ has battled injuries throughout his career in Denver, helped the Nuggets win a title in 2023. This past season averaged 18 points in 77 games.
Man, personally, obviously, if you know me, obviously, my cousin and all, so obviously, I don't want him to see. I love to see him play winning basketball. So obviously, I'm mixture of sad and mad. You feel me? For him going there. You know what I'm saying? Injuries last year in the playoffs, year before, had some off the court family stuff. That he and me as well dealt with. With family member of ours. And so that kind of threw him off last season. So he really didn't get to lock in like how you really, one or two last year, and this season got injured, and it was just bad timing, man. So honestly, people say I'm being biased, but I don't really feel like playoff wise he's able to really fully get to really just sink his teeth into what he can really do and how he can really impact, and defensive struggles, getting cut back door on stuff like that. It kind of showed itself in the OKC series, and playing that high level basketball. I could see why they think like okay, we can't play long term, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, mostly it was just the contract. The contract restricted them from being able to, make moves, get free agents, do things like that. So, this is the result of that. And obviously, he's gonna do his thing in Brooklyn, but obviously I love seeing my bro, my brother, my cousin, play winning basketball, so that sucks for that. But objectively, for the Nuggets, they got better. The Nuggets did get better. And I wasn't able to say that at first. It took me a couple hours to be able to come to that conclusion. But, hey, man, I just hope and pray that Mike can get back on the contender, whether it's in the East and the West, and play for some winning basketball again. Because, yeah. So, yes, that's that move. Let's get to the next one, man. Michael Porter for Cam Johnson,
Jordan Clarkson plans on signing with the Knicks once he clears waivers. Agreed to a buyout with the Jazz on Monday. He averaged at least 15 points per game in 7 straight seasons. However, he played in a career.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. I like that pick for New York. That last year their struggles really wasn't. I mean, last year their struggles kind of the same thing as Nuggets. They didn't really have any bench scoring for real. So I think he would be big for them off the bench if he could bring that scoring punch like he usually does. And do that. And yeah, so that would be fire for them. That's cool. I grade that like a B plus, depending on how he plays and defense and all that. I say B plus, potentially could be A plus,
or 37
or A
games this past season due to plantar fasciitis in his left foot. D'Angelo Russell agreed to a 2-year deal worth $13 million with the Mavs. The trade reunites Russell with Anthony Davis, who played with him in LA. D'Lo averaged nearly 30.
I like that. Especially when Kyrie comes back, Kyrie, starting lineup could be Kyrie, Clay, Coop, PJ, AD at the 5. You know what I mean? Then, you got Gaff and Live and, all the people off the bench, like, they cold. So, I actually like Dallas, I actually like Dallas, I just think their defense would be locks, I just ready to see what the offense would look like. So, I rate this like a B plus, because he's not going to be starting long term, but he's a starting all-star level guard. He can, run the ship for a minute. So that's probably like a B plus.
18.6 assists per game last season with the Lakers and the Nets. Rockets have been busy. Free agent forward Dorian Finney-Smith agreed to
I think the Rockets, man, depending on how the Nuggets finish this offseason, because I think Nuggets and the Rockets up right now are the top two teams who've been winning free agency. You know what I'm saying? If they could get Al Horford, bro, oh my God. Like, now you could go, oh man, you can get, if they get Al Horford, man, I think the title, the dynasty for the Nuggets is back on, you know what I'm saying? But this is a great deal for them. I rate this like an A, you feel me? Because he's gritty, he's a Rockets type player, you know, gritty, defender, scorer, dog. You're not finna get over on them, nothing like that, you feel me? And they got Clint Capella, I definitely, you feel me? Definitely rate the Rockets offseason and this pick a A+ for sure. A+.
Year $53 million deal. Clint Capella heading back to Houston on a 3-year, $21.5 million deal. Capella spent the first 6 years of his career in Houston before being traded to Atlanta. It adds to a busy offseason already for Houston, who traded for Kevin Durant, signed Jabari Smith to his 5-year, $122 million rookie extension on Sunday. The Grizzlies had a busy first day of free agency. Jaren Jackson Jr. expected to sign a 5-year, $240 million max extension with the team. That's according to an ESPN report. Jackson, a 2-time All-Star and former NBA Defensive Player of the Year. The team also signed Santi Aldama to a 3-year, $52.5 million deal. Aldama had a career high in points, rebounds, assists, and steals per game this season. Not done. Ty Jerome agreed to a 3-year, $28 million deal with the Grizzlies. Jerome had a breakout year for the Cavs, averaging 12.5 points and 3 assists per game off the bench. And for more, welcome in CBS Sports NBA writer Sam Quinn and CBS Sports basketball analyst Tim Doyle. Nuggets trade MPJ to the Nets for Cam Johnson. Sam, what's your reaction to this deal for Denver and Brooklyn?
Oh, I love it for both sides. This is about as consummate a win-win trade as you're going to see in any offseason. Brooklyn, it's obvious. They're just trying to take on a bad contract, get a draft pick for it. Nikola Jokic will be in his late 30s when this pick conveys in 2032. Looks like it'll be pretty valuable at that point. But
Man. Mike traded, man. My big bro, big cuz traded, man. Obviously, personally, I don't mess with it, you feel me? I know he kind of had defensive struggles, you know, getting cut back during stuff like that, you know. I know he had his injury struggles, but the thing is, ironically enough, he got labeled as, oh, he had injury history, but he's played damn near 82 games he played damn near the whole season, except for 2 seasons out of all the seasons he's been there. Just in the playoffs, this season, he got hurt, and then now they're trying to say injury history, but whatever. But objectively, I think it's a good trade, you know. Objectively, I think it's a good trade for them, you know. Cam Johnson is a more dynamic playmaker off the ball. They probably like similar level shooters. You know, with Mike's injury history, he can't really attack the basket as well as he used to, or as he, you know, potentially could, you know. 3 back surgery, so that does affect your ability to be explosive, and you kind of makes you more reluctant to drive and stuff like that. But all in all, I rate it personally. It sucks, you know what I'm saying, because I like watching my cuz play winning basketball. But you know, and contribute to winning, you know what I'm saying, even though he had his deficiencies and stuff. Mostly because of injury, because he didn't get to play in college and stuff, you know. But yeah, for the Nuggets in general, objectively, I think it's a great trade. I think it's down there A for them. You know, they lose a little size, but they make up for it with defense. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna have it's gonna be no more of that backdoor getting cut, none of that for real. Like, it's gonna be really, really good for them. And they signed Bruce Brown. So for the Nuggets, I think they had a great day today. I think they had a great day today for sure.
Nuggets don't care about what happens when they're after Nikola Jokic. They have the best player in the world right now.
Damn.
Their goal.
Oh man. Fuck. He getting paid. Oh my God, bro. I did not know he's getting paid that much, bro. Oh my God, bro. I did not know he's getting paid 38 M's, bro. 40 M. Oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ. I did not know. And they over 21, bro. Bro, they can do so much room with that. They can do so much more with that money, bro. Like, objectively, like, damn, I did not know he's making that much money, bro. Or earning that much money. Damn. That's a great trick for them. And they got a similar player for way cheaper than that. Oh, man, that's perfect for them, you know. Sucks for, you know, me personally and then Mike personally, you know, but because obviously we know Mike. Me personally knowing Mike, he's a competitor. He don't really care about the money like that in the sense of he doesn't play for the money per se. He plays to compete, you know what I'm saying? He plays to get good and compete and stuff. But, man, those contract differences are, man.
To compete while he's still in his prime, and I think they've made a pretty significant upgrade here. Cam Johnson better on the ball than Michael Porter Jr. Both of them good shooters. But the big upgrade here is that they're going to unlock the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. They're going to add more talent in free agency now. They save about $18 million. They're going to pour that back into the roster, fix that bench.
Well, it's about making shots in the postseason, and Michael Porter Jr. in 7 games against OKC, because it was a 7-game series Denver took him to, he averaged 7 points and shot 25% from 3. Hakeem, you know this had to be tough for Denver. The Cronkies, the Missouri ties, Michael Porter Jr. is one of them. He's one of their favorites. But he was not getting it done, and at the end of the day, you know, this comes down to money, as Sam pointed out, and they're obviously saving some, as well as getting someone who's a proven shooter. 40% from 3, has made big shots in the postseason throughout his career, and I think he's an excellent fit. But the biggest thing is he gave Denver some flexibility to make some moves, because right now it's all about winning right now with the Joker.
Yeah, and it's all about winning right now for the Houston Rockets. Busy offseason, traded for Kevin Durant, kept Fred VanVleet. Jabari Smith agreed to a deal with Dorian Finney-Smith and Clint Capella. Sam, clearly Houston going all in. How are you evaluating the moves they made here in the offseason?
Last thing on the Nuggets trade, man. Man. Now I think I'm going back to being a Hawks fan. I would say Nuggets and you know, and some other teams. I'll say second and stuff now, but I'll say the Hawks first for me now, because I don't know. But all in all, man, I feel like I just wish Mike could have got a fair shake in terms of like really impacting the playoffs like how he could. And to be honest, he was forced into a position. You know, with most players, not just him. That's what you got to do if you want to win. All the players who in championship teams, there was go-to scorers on their team, and I think, you know, Mike specifically, I think he kind of just wasn't never comfortable with just being the fourth option, getting the ball some nights. But I feel like, you know, that just, you know, I mean, he felt like he had some making up to do because he missed so much time. So that kind of messed with his ability to really, like, just accept the role, you know what I'm saying? Because he felt like he missed so much hoop. He wanted to make up for it and just wanted to, you know, whatever. And so, but, man, I don't know, man. I guess we'll just see what happens in the future, man.
Season and on the first day of free agency.
Yeah, they've had a great offseason so far, right? I think we have to start with Oklahoma City as the favorite in the West, but Houston is clearly number 2 now. They've replaced Dillon Brooks with Dorian Finney-Smith, got another really good 3-and-D wing. Kevin Durant speaks for himself, one of the greatest players of all time. They didn't need Clint Capella, but they had the money, so it's almost like, why not? You get a little bit of injury insurance against Steven Adams, who's older, who's had some injury issues in the past. Now you have 3 centers for 2 slots. Maybe you mix and match based on matchup. Maybe you play some of them together. I love what Houston's done so far. It's been an incredible day for them.
Tim, you also love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt about it. Look, Dorian Finney-Smith doesn't even crack this starting 5. As I believe right now, when Fred VanVleet is your 4th best player on offense and maybe even your 5th best player, you have a legit squad. Houston needed a closer. They picked up one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA in Kevin Durant. You know, normally at the end of games, it was like, oh, Houston, we have a problem. We have no closer. They don't have a problem anymore, Gabe. They got Kevin Durant. They added to their bench. Right now, they are my favorite to win it all next year. And you're getting roughly 10-1 odds on the Houston Rockets.
Sam, just so you know, that really annoys Tim when news anchors do that. They go, this just in. We're here. Now, nobody really does that anymore, but they used to do it back in the day. This just didn't. They don't do it anymore. Staying in the state of Texas, Dallas adds D'Angelo Russell. Sam, what does this move mean for the Mavs here? Is now they're going to get somebody to fill in while Kyrie Irving is recovering?
Yeah, they signed a substitute.
Man, the Mavs, man. I think, you know, the West gonna be a dog fight next year, bro. The West gonna be a dog fight. Like outside of, you know, the Nuggets trade, you know, obviously mixed feelings on that one, you know, but man, like the West gonna be a dog fight, boy. I tell you what, like, you feel me? OKC, fucking Houston, San Antonio. People sleeping on San Antonio. I'm telling you, as a hooper, bro, as a, you know, even though I haven't hooped professionally, but just as a dude who been in the hoop for a good little minute, like, you feel me? Man, they gonna be solid. They gonna be great. They gonna be, if they mix it all together, and they gonna be good. Fucking Denver, oh my gosh, Denver finna be crazy, especially if they can get some Al Horford or like a great, if they can finally get, watch what I say, they gonna finally get a backup big, finally gonna get a backup big for Nikola, man, and you know what I'm saying, and and plenty of others here. I can't think of all of them right now. I'm drawing a blank, but man, the West gonna be a dog fight, bro. The West gonna be a dog fight next year, bro. I tell you what, like that shit is not gonna be sweet. Like that shit is not sweet at all next year. I'm telling you. And the East is gonna be a little sweeter. You feel me? Because you know Tatum unfortunately out, Dame out, so that knocks off two of the biggest contenders in the East. Now you got Dallas wide open. You feel me in the East? You know what I'm saying? So then Hallie. So fuck. So it's gonna be wide open in the East, man. So. Man, we'll see. It's going to be exciting next year to see what happens, for sure.
Teacher, right? That's all they're trying to do. They're hoping Kyrie Irving can be back in February, March, be ready for the playoffs. D'Angelo Russell is a great regular season stopgap. Somebody who can eat some innings for you, get some, help your offense stay afloat in the regular season while Kyrie's out. But then he goes to the bench when Kyrie's back. He's had so many playoff struggles that this is almost a relief to him now, right? He doesn't have to be relied upon to carry the offense in those high leverage moments in the playoffs. So it's a nice fit. I still have a lot of questions about that roster. It's very unbalanced.
Bro, please trade this man to the... What's his contract? 40 mil? Like, bro, 40 mil? If you make a 40 mil, bro, you need to be damn near a second best player on the team, bro. 40 mil, bro? Jesus Christ.
It's way too big, not enough dribbling, not enough shooting, but they did about as well with the resources at their disposal as we could have reasonably expected.
D'Angelo Russell needs to take a screenshot of that full screen that he is up there with 3 Hall of Famers, because last year, his year in Brooklyn was awful. There's no other way to say it. He shot a terrible percentage from the field. He shot an awful percentage from 3. And at this point in his career, I think that he's headed in the wrong direction. To Sam's point, they need somebody. Kyrie's hurt, so they have to have somebody to bring the ball up. He's making $6 million a year. We're living in a world where Luke Cornett is getting $11 million a year, $10 million a year, and D'Angelo Russell is getting almost half of that. So I said
I didn't know Ty Jerome signed with that's why they got Lonzo. Oh, because they got Lonzo. Okay. Yeah. Cavs gonna be cold too, though. The Cavs gonna be cold too. But I ain't know the Grizzlies got Ty Jerome. That's cold. But Grizzlies ain't gonna do nothing next year. We all know this. No disrespect to them, but they're not doing nothing next year. The top five in the West next year, OKC, respectfully, because they won. San Antonio, Denver, Houston, and let's just say maybe Dallas or something. But those will be the top 5 next year for sure. It's gonna be between them 5. Oh, and Minnesota too.
Ty Jerome, John Morant on social media, happy to see his guys get paid. Sam, what'd you think about the moves that Memphis made here on Monday?
I like them, right? The idea of their offseason, they had 3 big contracts with Desmond Bane, John Morant, Jaren Jackson. They wanted to reconfigure their books in such a way that they had 2 expensive players. They have Morant, they have Jaren Jackson, but they do such a good job of drafting and developing young players that they felt like they could afford to let Bane go, rebuild around him, recreate him in the aggregate offensively. Ty Jerome was probably the best 6 man in the NBA last year. He didn't win the award because he didn't play enough minutes. I think that's going to be a great situation for him. They have a lot of depth there. Bringing back Santi Aldama was great bit of business. I really like everything they've done. Are they championship contenders? The answer is probably no, right? They've taken an overall step back in terms of talent, but they've added assets. They've gotten good players on reasonable contracts. Talk to me in a year or 2. I'm pretty excited about where they're going.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a very...
That's not a bad lineup, though. Like, no, I mean, that's not a bad... They're not winning no ring or nothing, like, but that's not somebody in the playoffs. I'm not trying to play them. If I'm a team, I'm not trying to play them because they could beat you in a series if going right. Now they will win a ring. I don't probably got enough talent. You feel me? Whatever. But I ain't gonna say enough talent. But maybe they got the personnel to win a ring, probably. But they definitely would definitely annoy some teams in the playoffs for sure. That's a solid squad, though. I mean, I'll play with them in 2K for sure.
Very, very good regular season team. Now, you see their starting 5. I think it's a very solid starting 5. But what made the Grizzlies really good last year was their depth and their bench. They went to their bench, and it was like sometimes you go to teams' bench, it's like this massive fall off. They had an outstanding bench. They shared the ball. Aldama's a guy that I think is going to be fantastic. When Aldama's coming off your bench, you have a really good squad. I think they need another wing scorer. Like, I thought if Kevin Durant looked at all the teams in the NBA, Houston would be 1. I thought Memphis would be 2. They're missing a closer. Jaren Jackson Jr. is an amazing Robin. He's even better if he's your 3rd guy. John Morant up and down, off the court, on the court. He can definitely, if he's going to be healthy. I think they're missing one key piece. And whether it's like a DeMar DeRozan, they need someone who makes tough shots in the playoffs. They don't have that. And Desmond Bane was not that. So I was okay to see him go from Memphis. Be interested to see what they're doing right now because Jaren Jackson Jr., they paid him, and he's the safe bet. But John Morant, you never know what you're going to get with that guy.
Free agency just beginning. Plenty of teams busy on day one. Sam Quinn, Tim Doyle breaking down the moves here on CBS Sports HQ. And speaking of moves...
Well, that's it for this video, man. Oh, let me go to the Hawks. Sorry. Let me go to the Hawks. Got the Hawks.
Great unprotected pick from the Pelicans. But you look at the players they added today. Perfect fits for what they're doing. They have all of this size and athleticism. They need a smaller guard defender. They get Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Very good shooter. Can create a little bit on the ball.
Hey,
maybe play some backup point guard.
I'm telling you, as a person who's been into this stuff for a minute, bro, the Hawks went crazy today, bro. Like, as a hooper, all they players is young, like, except for Trey, like, and Kristaps, obviously. But you need to win. You need a mix of, you know what I'm saying? I would argue that Trey Young is just as good as Tyrese Halliburton, like, if not better, you feel me? He just smaller. He just fucking 6'1", 6'2", if that. You feel me? Tyrese Halliburton 6'5", you feel me? So, and, you know, Trey ain't had the talent in a couple years. He just been kind of playing purgatory basketball. But I think this year, for sure, the Hawks are back in the playoffs, for sure. No question at all. They're back in the playoffs. Starting lineup, Trey Young, Dyson Daniels, potential DPOY. He was 22, 23 DPOY almost as a fucking guard. You feel me? You got Zach, #1 pick last year. You got Jalen Johnson. You got Kristaps Porzingis. Then off the bench, you got Luke Kennard, Nickeil. You got, you feel me, whoever else you got off the bench, man. Like, they gonna be cold as fuck. I'm gonna be at a lot of games this year for sure. Catch me there. I'm gonna be at a lot of games for sure.
Get Luke Kennard. Sure. Never hurts to have another great shooter. But I think the most important thing here, Trey Young recruited both of them actively. Trey Young, extension eligible this offseason. You go back to the trade deadline, there were rumors that he might want out of Atlanta. Now he's actively bringing players there. Not only did they improve the roster, it seems like the chemistry, the organization, everything is aligned. They figured out the formula to build around Trey Young, and I think they're moving in a perfect direction.
I'm not going in a team direction here. I'm going in a player direction. This is a golf clap. Congratulations to Luke Cornett. You averaged last season 6 points. You got $40 million over 4 years. Amazing. This is the biggest winner of them all. This guy's making over $10 million a year, and D'Angelo Russell's making around half, even though he's had a more storied career. He's bounced around the league. He's been on 5 different teams. For Boston last year, he played 73 games. He proved to be
Indiana.
So these are the top 10 remaining free agents. You got Miles Turner, Aminga, Josh Giddey, A.N. Bees, Mo Wagner, Gary Payton, Gary Trent. Oh my God, if Denver get Gary Payton, oh my God. Gary Trent Jr., Quentin Grimes, Al Horford. Oh my God, bro. Honest to God, bro. And it's just my opinion. I have no proof. But if they can get Al Horford or Gary Payton or me, where do they get Bees? But nah, I think Bees might be. If they get Bees, oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. Or Wagner. Mo Wagner would be cold. He would be so cold. Like, man. If they didn't give Mike that big old contract, and you feel me, like, because they gave Mike one, they gave AG one, you got to give Maul one, you got to give Yoke one, and then you got to give Christian one. We can't have 5 max contracts, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, that's just not going to go. Like, you're not going to have no bench at all. So, man, I think next year will be probably one of the most, like, especially with all the injuries, unfortunately, that just puts so much parity in the NBA. And I definitely believe, like, you know, next year, I think a lot of people assume that OKC would just run through the West or run through the league. Like, bro, niggas is not going, bro. Niggas is not going. All the OKC fans, niggas is not going. They're not just going finna let them run through the league like that. They just not doing it, you feel me? So, hey, man, the league catching up, man. That's one thing about every time you win, bro, everybody look at what you did, and they try to say, we're going to copy that and try to make it, reinvent it. So, man, that'll be it for this video. So, gonna stop it right there, man. Like, comment, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, ring that bell, let me know any more videos you want me to react to. Yeah, and we out. AP Reacts, we done.